Hello and welcome to the Vampire Talk Show. I'm your host, Valaine. Val to my friends. My roommate discovered my coffin under the concrete floor of the basement in her new house and woke me up from a 100-year nap. Now I'm reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, and of course, making a podcast. Tonight's guest is a fascinating creature in their own right. But first, let's go to the movies. I went to the movies recently. They were showing a movie called Elf. Apparently the movie came out 10 years ago, but I obviously missed it. My roommate insisted we go see it while it was back in theaters. And my goodness, has the experience of moviegoing changed drastically. Going to movie palaces in the 20s was a delight. We didn't have televisions in every household, let alone every room. Movie palaces were always quite crowded, holding 1,000 people at one time in some places. Talkies had just become en vogue when I laid my head to rest to wake up in a new century. But now, everything is loud and in color. My experience at the movie theater was pure magic. The concessions were delightful. At least, the concessions I could taste through blood were delightful. Allie let me have a couple sips from her during the film. What a peach she is. Buttery popcorn and a candy called Junior Mints. I balked at the combination, but Allie insisted that it was the ultimate movie snack combo, and she was right. Salty, sweet, warm, and minty. But my favorite part was the seating. I had a recliner all to myself, as big as a Cadillac. At the push of a button, my feet would raise up on a footrest. Another button press, and a pleasant warmth emanated from the chair. How does anyone stay awake during the movies these days? All I would need is a blankie and I would be out like a light. Actually, there is no light in the theater too, isn't there? My goodness, I could rest in a movie theater during the day if need be. But the potential for staking is too great. Anyway, one little gripe I have is that rude people are attending movies en masse now. Back in the movie palace days, there wasn't any talking because the occasion was special. Woe unto the maladjusted moviegoer who dared heckle at the screen or ruin someone's outing with an ongoing conversation. The scandal. Now, people seem to be more interested in commenting on the movie rather than enjoying it. Or they have their damn phone out. Honestly, I feel like having lockers just for phones at the back of the theater would do everyone good. Anyway, I cozied down into my seat, occasionally sipping blood from Allie's wrist, and was transported to this magical little world. The movie was funny and sweet, and I can watch it anytime I want because we have it on a stream thing, I think it's called. But I can see the appeal of occasionally seeing it bigger and louder, and with strangers. Why do people go to the movies anyway? For tonight's guest, I am so pleased to welcome. Apparently, they are the world's greatest cryptozoologist, and they are on the Haunted Objects podcast. Welcome, Keelin Mathews.
Hello, Val. Lovely to meet you.
So lovely to meet you. Yes, Allie is a mutual friend of ours, and she said that you would be perfect because you are on this podcast, and I saw that you are the world's greatest cryptozoologist, so I am humbled that you would want to come on this podcast.
Yeah, shocking that I have such a title and I'm so young and I've been doing this not long at all.
How young are you? Would you mind divulging?
I am a mere 24 years old.
Oh my
But,
goodness.
I mean, who knows on the inside? I could be as old as you. I could be older. I feel older sometimes.
Yes, you do seem a little bit on the older side. You seem very reserved, and you seem like you would be comfortable with like some sort of stitching or crocheting or something in your hands.
Shocking that you would say that because I do. It's like one of my main things. I knit my hats and I embroider my
Ah.
things and I cross stitch. Cross stitching was my latest thing that
Hmm.
I learned. Good old lady uh hobbies I have.
I would say so. And I bet it comes in handy whenever you're, hunting about for the cryptids and
Mm.
you have some downtime, or maybe you use it as a way to stay calm in terrible situations. Um, do you do a lot of cross stitch on the road?
Well, I would like to do more cross stitch, like not sitting on my couch, but you'd be surprised the amount of accoutrement that come with
Ooh,
cross stitching because
good word.
you need your needles, you need your fabric, you need a
Hmm.
hoop, you need the pattern that you're working off of. So
Mm.
I think I just need to learn crochet next, honestly.
Oh, yes. It's a wonderful art form. It's very soothing and relaxing,
Hmm.
is crochet. Knitting is for insane people. Just going to
Yes.
say right now. I don't know what's wrong with them. They have shaken off having a hook for some reason. And I think they are masochists personally because they
Mm-hmm.
just like the pain of having to, to drop stitches and whatnot. I gave it a shot one time many, many years ago, and it did not stick at
Mm-mm.
all. Um, so, well, enough about our crafting. Um, so, hmm, it seems that cryptozoology has become quite popular.
Mm.
Because I'm always hearing about crypto and crypto bros, which
Mhm.
I assume is a type of cryptozoologist union.
I would love that because I love a union and I do love
Mm-hmm.
cryptids, but I am so displeased to tell you that that is not what unfortunately that is not what crypto is. I get disappointed every time I read the word crypto. It's actually money that is more fake than real money.
Wow.
Yeah.
More fake. So less than zero monies.
You know how like real money, like the USD is already kind of like a fake concept? Because we
Yes.
just like assign value. It's that, but it's like different and more fake.
Oh, this sounds very complicated and
Yeah,
weird.
the
Like,
future. It's not what we thought it was going to be.
are there any faces on this money? Like, if is that why they call it crypto? Because they think that it is something non-existent in the world.
Maybe that would make it more fun. All I know is that sometimes no, there's like monkeys or those bored apes, but that's not. I think that's related to crypto, but it's not crypto. I'm this with this prefix of crypt. You'd think I'd know more, but I don't.
As the world's greatest cryptozoologist, I would expect a little more. No
I know it's
offense.
so disappointing.
Um. So, can you take me through a typical day of what the world's greatest cryptozoologist does?
Mm-hmm. Well, I get up at 6 a.m. and I feed the two beasts that reside with me.
Oh, so you have cryptids living with you?
Yes, I do. One is a four-legged void. Her name is Wren, and she
Hmm.
lives exclusively in my room for now. And the other one is a cat.
Oh, a cat.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a couple of them here as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Allie's cats.
Yes, they are quite charming, although the orange one seems to hate me.
No.
So, yes. The little one is okay, I guess.
Yeah, my cat, her name is Sheila, and she has half a tail
Mm.
because she bit it. She bit it off, basically. That's not really what happened, but you know.
She bit off her own
Yeah,
tail. Oh my
fucking
goodness.
metal as hell.
Oh my goodness. Don't talk about masochism, my God. Oh. So you have these two cryptids. Well, cryptid and a cat. I guess a cat could be a cryptid. I
Cats
mean, they
could be,
kind of go
sure.
between worlds anyway.
Yeah.
Um, what is what is your favorite cryptid, actually? I would love to know.
You know, it definitely it oscillates. I have based on the stuffed animals that I have, I do have some stuffed animals that represent such cryptids. I do think Mothman is my favorite, even though we can get into the semantics of whether Mothman is a cryptid or not.
Oh.
Um, in terms of how you want to define cryptid. But I do love just the Mothman story, but I also like how people of my generation, especially, have embraced Mothman with
Mm-hmm.
the bumper stickers like Mothman is my boyfriend, Mothman ate my entire ass behind the Denny's. Um people love that guy.
I I know, and actually, I'm glad you bring this up because I I'm pretty sure that Mothman has come up in every single episode so far of the Vampire
You
Podcast.
know?
And what's funny is this is the first time that I've heard anything positive about the Mothman uh, because some of us know him personally, and the
Mm.
fame has really gotten to his head.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, never meet your heroes. That's what I
Hmm.
say. Used to be very lovely, harbinger of strangeness, but as of late, yes, he's become a little too big for his britches, so to speak.
Interesting.
Yes, but I'm not saying that your favorite cryptid can't be your favorite cryptid because he's an asshole. Um,
Maybe
if
that's just
anything,
part
that
of the
makes it
charm.
better. Yes, exactly. Um, so, is there like a particular cryptid that you've been um just dying to study, like trying to figure them out?
Hmm. Hmm. Um, Let me see. I mean, of course, the goblins are the most elusive, as
Mm.
yeah, the Hellier gang knows.
Yes, I've
um,
heard of these Hellier goblins. I'm familiar with the
yes,
Hopkinsville as well, but Hellier
yes.
goblins are a little bit different.
Honestly, I mean, the cryptid I want to see the most is probably the one that I have in my room, the four-legged void.
Mm.
She currently she's very elusive. She's incredibly elusive. She finds new hiding places
Mm.
virtually every day.
Wow.
she's
She's
she's like my white whale. You know Moby Dick?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What I this beast sounds fascinating.
Mm.
What, pray tell, do you feed this creature?
I feed her bits of flesh.
Oh,
Yes, it's canned.
oh, okay.
Canned flesh, not my own flesh. That would be
No, store-bought is fine. That's okay.
um but yes, the flesh of other creatures. We're all
I should hope
flesh,
so. I
you
should hope
know.
so. Wow, I can't believe they sell cryptid food in a grocery store. That is
Dollar General.
fantastic. Oh,
It's
Dollar
yeah,
General.
yeah.
Wow.
I have it on subscription. It gets delivered straight to my door.
Oh, I, I love this age of convenience.
Mm.
You can get on your phone And in 30 minutes, you can have a burrito, cat food. You can have pencils and
Mm-hmm.
a gallon jug of chocolate milk, and
Mm-hmm.
it can all come to your door just like that.
And
And I
those
think
are
it's
the only things.
yes, yes.
Those are your only options.
And you'd think that people would start talking about how weird your purchases are, but they're purchasing just as much weird stuff as you are.
It's true.
Oh, yes, I got a package by mistake actually uh from a neighbor, and all that was in there was a jar of mayonnaise and a baseball. And I couldn't help myself. I was like, what? I really wanted to ask them what it was for, but unfortunately, Allie took the package over there during the day, and I don't think anybody in this neighborhood really likes me too much because they only see me at
Mm.
night. So,
I also got some wrong mail. Um, and two, they're both that I love both of them. So one of them it was an envelope handwritten, and I just didn't really like look at it. I didn't see that it was the wrong name, so I opened it, and it's a Christmas card from this random family that I don't know, and I have them on my fridge now.
oh, how lovely though.
Yeah,
It's sad for the person who was supposed to receive,
I
and
mean,
now,
they
but
sucks for them. They're my fridge family now.
I can only imagine the next time that this person who is supposed to receive the Christmas card, especially if it's a family member, and the next time they see that person who sent the Christmas card, thinking, oh no, they must hate me and they
Mhm.
didn't send me a Christmas card. And I hope it just broils up like all of this tension and,
Yes,
wonderful stuff during the holiday season. Oh, how
that is the
fun.
plan.
Yes. You're a harbinger of drama, it
Yes,
seems.
I love the tea.
Yes, I've been told that tea is now what
Mm.
gossip is.
Mhm.
Because back in the day I used to be a gossip columnist, and
That's right.
now I need to be a tea maker? I don't know.
A tea connoisseur, a
Yeah,
tea
what's a sommelier
for
for
tea,
tea?
a British person.
And I am not, by the way. My accent is actually
Yes.
transatlantic.
Oh, I understand. I
Not everybody does.
I know about the transatlantic accent.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Well, we were going through your day. You
Oh,
woke
yes. Left off at feeding the beasts.
continue.
Um, I feed the beasts. Um, I go to my incredibly normal job, and I keep a lookout for the cryptids all day, every day. I'll go for walks and peek my head into the woods, and it's hilarious because I am the world's greatest cryptozoologist, but I've never seen a cryptid.
Oh, well,
That's how good I am, Val.
apparently so. You'd think that the prerequisite
Mm.
for being the world's greatest anything is
Mm-hmm.
to have experience with the thing that you're greatest at.
Absolutely not. I just read books. I have a lot of silly hats.
Oh, well,
And
yes, you have to have a
right,
silly hat.
and my friend Otis made me a bracelet that says cryptozoologist, so I don't think I need anything else.
No, you've got the accessories, you've got the attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You're very laid back in your search for cryptids, which is
Yeah. I just let
interesting.
them come to me.
Yes, you just peek your head into a forest every now and then. Just,
Yeah.
oh, no cryptids here. Yes.
No cryptids there. I guess I'll look later. Um, but yeah, I finish my day at my very normal job, and then I come home and I read just copious amounts of random bullshit for the podcast that I work on.
Yes, the Haunted Objects podcast with the
Mm-hmm.
Newkirks.
Yes.
Um, yes, a fantastic podcast. Actually, one of the first that I was introduced to, from
Thank you.
producer
Thank you.
Allie. Yes, and yeah, interesting podcast. It seems more about debunking rather than,
Mm.
inflating, which I
Yes.
appreciate.
Yeah. We try to, we run that line. Our producer, Connor, famous magician,
Mm-hmm.
uh the what does he call himself? The conjurer. Um
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we start a podcast or a recording session, he says, "All right, in this space, anything can happen." And then
Mm-hmm.
occasionally we'll put on our skeptic hats and then we'll talk about it, but then they always come off, you know? We always have to keep the whimsy.
Skeptic hats. It almost sounds like a brand, doesn't it? It's like,
Mm,
yes, this is my hat from Skeptics.
from
It is.
Skeptic. Oh, I love
Yes.
that.
Oh, yes. Um, you should get a skeptic hats made, actually. That might
You
be a
know,
fun thing.
I would love that. What I
Might be good
want,
for merch as
yeah,
well.
what I want are bucket hats, like reversible bucket hats that on
Mm-hmm.
one side it says skeptic and the other side says believer. That's what I want,
Oh, that is actually quite brilliant.
right?
Yes, I feel like, you're billed as the world's greatest cryptozoologist.
Mm-hmm.
However, just from this conversation, I feel like you're the world's greatest crafter because that's all. Because you seem to have more experience with crafting and making things rather
then
than
then
finding
cryptids.
than finding cryptids.
I can't argue with that, but this is the title that I have been bestowed. So,
Perfectly reasonable, perfectly reasonable.
hmm
So no, no experience with cryptids.
not physically. I
Not
read I read a lot of books, Val.
Yes, I hear that you do read a lot of books and research and whatnot. That's fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, however, I feel like I have to make the argument that, I'd rather have a doctor with experience rather than just a doctor who read a lot of books.
Well, that's just a med student.
Exactly. I don't think I'd want a med student to give me an appendectomy, even though he wouldn't be able to. But I make my point. Yes.
That's a valid point, but I didn't choose this title. It was bestowed upon me, and
Uh,
I wear it with pride.
that's right. Wasn't it Mekelium Bembe was
Mm-hmm.
the first cryptid that you really sank your teeth into for the
I did.
podcast?
I did the supposed dinosaur that still
Mm-hmm.
exists in the rivers and forests of the Congo.
Mm-hmm.
And we did for that episode, we visited the Creation Museum in Kentucky. I don't know if you know of this. It's like a
Oh.
big, giant ark that they built, and they put fake animals in it.
Oh. If it's any sort of religious place, I don't think I can set
Oh,
foot there,
that's
but
right. It's too
um
expensive anyway. You don't
it
want to go.
doesn't sound like my cup of tea
No.
anyway. But yes, I actually uh uh Michele Mbembe is actually a good friend of mine from way back in the day.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
I'm hoping to catch up with him at some point. But he uh does not want to be found, obviously. No cryptid
Mm-hmm.
does. But when you're
See,
friends
I'm
with a
just I'm just respecting their wishes.
and you know what? Thank you, Keelan, because not a lot of people do. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people are just they, want to get them on camera or get
Mm-hmm.
prints or whatever.
Yeah.
And honestly, I want to ask these people, especially the ones who are on paranormal television,
Mm.
Bigfoot shows and whatnot. I want to ask them, what exactly are you going to do if you catch one? Honestly.
Yeah. That's a great question, and I don't think they've thought it through. And that's why
No.
I'm just poking my head into the woods and just kind of taking a look around for a second, and then if no one's there, then I'll just leave. But if they are there, I go, "What?" and then I still leave.
I'm sorry. You go like what?
I go, "Ah!" and then I still take off. Because
I mean,
you're right. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna waste time and try and take a picture. It's gonna be blurry anyway. We all
ex-
know this.
exactly, exactly. Yes. Yes, cryptids are just too good at bending light around them and making
Hmm.
pictures blurry.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, I think, like, how desperate are you to meet a cryptid?
Not at all.
Oh, not at all. Okay. Well, well then. Okay. Because I recently had an Australian necromancer named Spencer
Oh.
come to the studio, and he reanimated something that was inanimate. And I think it might count as a cryptid now
Tell me
because,
more.
well, let me just show you, okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you see this big rock over here, and it has a book underneath of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I take the rock off,
Oh my god. Oh my lord.
yes, yes. Oh goodness. And so
Wow,
once it goes,
that's
it just
powerful.
goes. Yes, and it's crazy, and it flies around the room, and just it's oh, could you, Allie? Could you? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Oh my goodness.
That was
Yes.
intense.
No. No. Put the bigger book on top. Yes. Okay. Um. Yes. So I have a bit of a cryptid, I guess, in my own
That's great.
recording studio now. Yes. I'm sorry for the demonstration, and
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry about your hair.
Yeah, it definitely got in my hair.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
it's a I'll just put a hat on. I'll put on
Yeah.
one of my silly hats later. It's
Oh,
fine.
there you go. There you go. What is your favorite silly hat to wear?
I do have a frog bucket hat.
Oh,
Um, that
lovely.
was gifted to me by my and Allie's friend Miriam.
Mm.
Um, and I do have several sort of gay hats.
Oh, so happy hats, correct?
No, of the homosexual persuasion
Oh,
hats.
right, right. I keep forgetting that gay means homosexual now.
Yes, yes.
Which, good for you. I am pansexual myself. Um,
Of course you are. You're a vampire.
yeah, of course. I mean,
Not to
why?
stereotype you, but
No, no. I hate to say this, but the stereotypes of vampires, for the most part, are true.
Mm,
So there's that. But yes, Ali has been educating me on the finer points of the 21st century, one of them
yeah.
being LGBTQIA plus stuff.
Yes, the
Yes.
alphabet mafia,
Oh, the
call
Alphabet
it.
Mafia. I like
Mhm.
that much better than LGBTQ.
And blah, 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 yeah. There's a lot. It's a lot of letters.
It is a lot of letters, and I know they're supposed to represent beautiful, wonderful individual people, but let's unite under Alphabet Mafia.
Yeah.
I fully believe that that should be the way to go. So you have an array of gay homosexual hats, then you said.
A couple. I mean, they're just they're subtle. Get a
Mm-hmm.
rainbow here and there. I have a lot of pins
Hmm.
of different rainbows. I have a lot of just a lot of rainbow memorabilia from across the many spectrums of what the rainbows are.
Yes. There are so many different rainbows now when it comes to the community. And yes, But diversity and I can understand not identifying with one's color palette.
That's tough.
It
I
is.
I I've there are a couple that it's like I've met some people who they might either identify as bi or pan, but they just like one of the flags better, which is so valid.
It truly is. For the longest time, I thought of myself as a bisexual, and
Mm,
I had no idea that the the bisexual flag was more flattering to me and my skin
mm,
tone. But I'm trying to update. I'm trying to
mhm.
be up with the times, and so I figure, oh, I'll just go pan. I guess that's what the younger folks are going towards instead of bisexuality. Um, and so yeah, unfortunately, the colors are very bright and beautiful. They're not very vampiric looking to me.
That's true.
So,
They're a lot. Those
mm-hmm.
those pan colors.
Yes, indeed. Um,
So I heard you talking earlier about going to the movie theater, and I have a couple things to add. You were talking
do
about movie
tell.
theater snacks.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite movie theater snack are snow caps, and I only ever eat snow caps at the movie theater.
Oh,
And some may argue they're just chocolate chips with little crunchy bits on them.
yes.
That is correct. That is all they are. But you need that texture at the movie theater, I think. And then what else are you going to spill if not for all those little tiny white pieces of candy? You need to make a mess somehow, obviously.
Yes, I saw Snowcaps at the theater, and they reminded me. Well, they are a candy called nonpareils. It's
Oh,
a French word.
oh, the
Um,
French.
I'm not very good at French, but yeah, nonpareils. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that. Um, so we had those before my nap. So I know of what you speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, however, I must disagree because I have never had a non-imperial that didn't taste like it was 40 years old and
Oh,
chalky.
oh, you're so wrong. You're so wrong, Val.
Well, I've never had a guest tell me I'm so
You're so
wrong, but
wrong. I'll take that stand. Hot take.
yes, the hottest take on
The
the show
hottest
so
of
far
takes.
has been that I'm wrong
That you're wrong
about
about
candy
snow caps.
or non-imperials.
Oh, whatever.
Oh my
My
goodness.
other movie theater thing. I think
Mm-hmm.
you'll like this. So, back in the day with talkies before movies had sound,
Mm-hmm.
in theaters they used to have live bands play um the music, and that's sort of how soundtracks became
Mm-hmm.
a thing. And I believe it was my mom's aunt, whom I
Mm-hmm.
am named after, not
Mm.
the Keelin part, my middle name. She used to play in one of those bands.
Oh,
He
how
was a
wonderful.
pianist.
A pianist. You gotta love a pianist.
I exactly.
Oh,
Um, but I love that little piece of weird movie trivia, and I love that she was in there. She was doing that like several nights a week, just going to the theater, and they would just play like whatever they want because
yes.
movies just didn't have soundtracks yet, so they're just making it up.
Now, was she a pianist
Mm.
or did she play a Wurlitzer organ? Because I've
Oh,
seen both of those at the
that's a
movies back in the day.
that is a good question. I believe it was the piano because she taught my mom how to play piano, but who
Oh.
knows?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she knew how to play the other one too.
Yes.
Good question.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm good at my job. I
Love
might be the
that.
world's greatest podcast host. If you're the world's
World's
greatest,
greatest interviewer. Interview with a vampire.
literally, yes. I've had many people make a joke like that before.
Oh, you mean I wasn't the first one?
No, and I had to ask them, what do you mean? Yes, it is an interview. How many times do I have to say I am a vampire and this is an
And
interview?
this is an interview.
Yes. And then they didn't realize that I had never seen the movie nor read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've done both, and I don't see the appeal personally. They got a lot of stuff wrong.
Hot take over here.
Oh, yes. I mean, pleasant to look at, the both of them. But yeah, no.
Toxic. Okay. Very toxic.
Yes.
Those vampire boys.
Very much so. Male vampires, honestly, are very much like a Peter Pan sort of archetype. Always. Yeah. I don't want to grow up. I want to be an asshole for the rest of my days.
Stupid little guy running around. Yeah.
Yes. All about the carnal pleasures and whatnot, and it's just meanwhile, female vampires, what we spend our time doing is reading books, watching films, and interviewing interesting people.
Exactly.
Yes. Women are better than men. That's all I'm going to say.
The least hot take of the day, actually.
Yes, out of all the hot takes that have happened during this session, I think that one is probably the most widely accepted. Well, Keelin, thank you so much for talking with me and being on this show.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course, darling, of course. I'm so glad we're friends now.
Yes. Next time I visit, we're going to hang out. Only in the evening, obviously, but you know.
Yes, I mean, Allie has made the basement a little bit more light friendly, so I can sometimes sneak out during the day. But yes, we'll have lots of slumber party fun next time you are here.
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
All right, so now we're going to get into some paranormal gossip. So for paranormal gossip and whatnot, we can have juicy little tidbits of gossip or personals ads or misconnections. Today we have a personal ad. So I read, Ghost seeking ghost. Just got out of a long-term possession. Now I'm looking for a kindred spirit who is not bound to a flesh and blood body. Seeking an old soul to haunt my days and nights. I've left possession games behind and looking for a ghost exclusively. If you're into moving items around, moaning in the middle of the night, and using knocking as a form of communication, we will get along great. Please summon me if interested and serious.
I personally, I am aromantic. I do not know about these, very committed long-term relationships, but, based on that personal ad, it seems like that the spirit knows what they're looking for.
Yes.
They know their boundaries.
Very assertive. Very assertive.
Yeah, we love that.
Oh, yes. And, I feel like it's the equivalent of anyone over 35 trying to date these days. At least that's what I hear from Allie's friends. Well, if you're a specter in need of a partner and what was just described to you floats your boat, please answer the ad by sending an email to the vampiretalkshow@gmail.com. Also, if you are sitting on a juicy tidbit of gossip, a misconnection, or a personal ad to place yourself, please email thevampiretalkshow@gmail.com. So, alrighty kitties, that's all for the show tonight. And remember, embrace the dark, the strange, and unusual. It just may embrace you back. Thank you to Keelin Mathews for being our guest today. You can find them on the Haunted Objects podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And You can follow them at ObjectsPod on Tumblr.